Test 1, 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third game of our River States Conference baseball series between your IU Southeast Grenadiers and the visiting Trailblazers of Ohio Christian. Game 3, after we have a broken up weekend series, the first two games of the series were played on Thursday, and Trailblazers make the trip back to New Albany this afternoon for the third game. Starting things off for the Grenadiers, on the mound is Tyler Yakovich. For Yakovich, he comes into this one with a pretty ugly ERA at 8.14, but struggled early, had a great bounce back start in his last appearance, allowing only a run across 5 and some change. And the first pitch from him to get underway is going to miss outside for ball 1. Like I said, Yakovich in 21 innings has an 8.14 ERA with 22 strikeouts to 8 walks. As the center fielder for Ohio Christian, Trey Henry, will lead things off and fouled that one back to even it up at 1-1. Set the defense for the Grenadiers. Left to right in the outfield is Colin Long, Mason White, and Braden Hazelwood. As Yakovich looks to deliver. Good pitch in there for called strike 2-2. Your infield will be Slater Shield at third base, Cody Putnam at short, Ethan Burdett at second, and Max Flock at first. Your battery along with Tyler Yakovich is Logan Murphy today. So set the stage for this one as that one's lifted high, giving a good run out there, and center is Mason White, and he's there to make the play just short of the warning track. So good swing by Henry, but it will be tracked down nonetheless, as that'll bring up the second baseman, Carter Smith. I'll give you the lineup for Ohio Christian. You just saw Henry, who will be in center field, leading off. Playing second base will be Carter Smith as he steps into the plate, followed by the right fielder Ben Starrett, the designated hitter Ridge Clark. And first pitch cut on and fouled away by Smith. So after Clark will be the first baseman Tate DeBoard, left fielder Spencer Crane, third baseman Ross Donaldson, catcher Caleb Haller, and batting ninth will be the shortstop Andrew Keener. Starting pitcher for Ohio Christian will be number 11 Will Bishop, and we'll hear more about him in the next half. Yakovich quickly ahead 0-2. Breaking ball. This will be Yak's sixth start on the campaign, as he's looking to build off his last one, like I mentioned. Turned in a good outing. A couple conversations had with the senior right-hander from Johnson City, Illinois. He just didn't feel comfortable early on. Felt like maybe he was trying to do a little too much. Arm slot not exactly where he was wanting it to be, so made the adjustment last week against Shawnee State. And a good pitch there, strike 3. As that will bring up the right fielder Ben Starrett. Doing some double duty at the Cutter Sports Complex today, as softball is having a conference matchup between St. Mary of the Woods. They won game 1 and were leading 7-6 in the bottom of the 6th over across the street. But Starrett's going to chop that one to Yak, and he's going to make the play in plenty of time. So a good 3-up, 3-down inning from Tyler Yakovich as we'll head to the bottom of the first. No score here in New Albany. Slater Shield will lead things off for the Grenadiers. And as I mentioned in the top half, he will face number 11, the senior from Mount Orab, Ohio, Will Bishop. Bishop in his 7th appearance, only his 2nd start on the year. Pretty inflated ERA, sitting right at an even 30, but this is only he's only has 6 innings on the campaign, as that one's going to be lifted lazily into right field, and there to make the catch will be Starrett. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Trailblazer starter, and that makes way for Mason White. But as I mentioned, Bishop, this only his 6th inning pitch, so now 6 in the 3rd. So not much on the year for him thus far. So like I said, some inflated numbers, as that one's going to be fisted down the line. That one's going to be fair, so that's going to be extra bases for Mason White, as that one's going to kick down the line, and Grenadiers are going to be in business with a 1-out double down the line from Mason White. So a lot of quick action for the Grenadiers. First pitch swinging for Shield, that flew out, and then first pitch there by Mason White's going to be a double down the line. Brings up Cody Putnam, shortstop for the home team today. Putnam's average hovering right around 300 at 308 across 52 at bats. So Putnam watches a strike called. Set the defense for you here in just a moment as Bishop comes set. And he'll deliver. Good job there by Haller. Keep White at second. Left to right for Ohio Christian. In the outfield is Spencer Crane, Trey Henry, and Ben Starrett. Then around your infield will be third baseman Ross Donaldson, the shortstop Andrew Keener. Second baseman will be Carter Smith, and playing first is Tate DeBoard. Battery mate with Will Bishop is Caleb Haller. So the 1-1 pitch upcoming to Putnam. Putnam ready. That one inside. 3 balls and a strike. Say it's a beautiful day here at Cutter Sports Complex here in New Albany, Indiana. Just a shade under 60 degrees. Maybe feels a little more cool than that with the wind and everything, and had some nice frost last night, but that one's going to be high. So Bishop doesn't get the call, so runners on first and second now for the designated hitter, Luke Powell. Things starting to come around for Luke Powell a bit. Average still around 226, but does have a handful of RBIs in his last couple games. As he watches strike one. He has another opportunity here in the early going. Bishop comes set. That one's fouled back off of the screen. So Powell quickly behind 0-2. As the Grenadiers are looking to get out to a good start here in the third game of the series. They did take both games 1 and 2, which feels like a week ago. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. As I mentioned, both games of this series that have already been played were played on Thursday. Some nasty weather Friday and Saturday here in New Albany makes way for a Monday finish. So an untraditional series, but one nonetheless. And that one is hooked in. That's going to be foul. So a good defensive swing from Powell, but that will not stay in the lines. We'll have another 1-2. That one well outside. Busy kickoff to a spring break week here for the Grenadiers, as we have 3 games at home. 2 softball, 1 here. That one will be fouled as well. Say your IU Southeast softball team heads on the road tomorrow to play a doubleheader against Brescia University. Grenadier baseball team hosts Campbellsville this Wednesday. Single game, 5 o'clock start Eastern, before both teams are off on conference weekend trips. So they get to spend their spring break on the road. As a good at-bat here from Luke Powell to run things full. Say both men and women's tennis teams also on the road. They're taking the trip down south to Mobile. But a 3-2 pitch here to Powell. That one inside, ball 4. Runners were off, but comes to not really matter, as that will load the bases via the walk. So stage set for Ethan Burdett. 1 out, bases loaded in the early going. Burdett, .354 hitter on the year. Does have 14 RBIs. Looking to add to that total here. First pitch from Bishop. Breaking ball well outside. Good job by Holler to play a little bit of goalie there to not allow White to score from third. As Bishop will step off, so that will be his 1 reset for the at-bat. And that one's going to get to the backstop. And that's going to be the first run for IU Southeast. So wild pitch on Bishop. Count 2-0 now to Burdett. Grenadiers do scratch across their first run. So runners on second and third now, as Bishop is looking to really find his footing. And that one's outside, 3-0. Not the start that Evan McDonald was hoping for with the senior right-hander. And it appears we're going to have someone getting going down in the Trailblazers bullpen. Bishop does battle back there as he fires in a strike to Burdett, taken all the way. So the defensive alignment, a big hole on the right side for Burdett, which he's very hole to hole, but that one's going to be in the dirt for ball 4. So struggles continue for Bishop. Max Flock steps in now with an opportunity to increase his RBI total, which sits at 11. Flock comes in batting .283 on the year in 53 at-bats, as we're going to have a conversation on the mound. Slow walk for head coach Evan McDonald, trying to probably give his bullpen arm some time. See if he can't settle Bishop down here and steal a few more outs before you have to go to the bullpen. Down in the bullpen, however, getting ready is freshman from Circleville, Ohio, Logan Smith. As it does appear that Evan McDonald taking as much time as they're going to give him. And we'll see if he will go to the bullpen or what they're going to do. Umpire giving him as a lot of time. As there's no 30-second clock necessarily, as there is in Major League Baseball, but generally umpires do like to keep the conversations pretty swift. But it'll still be Bishop here to face Flock, so Evan McDonald putting a little more faith in his senior. And he'll fire a strike in there to Flock. Finally is able to get ahead. So bases loaded, 1 out. Georgetown, Indiana native. Like to do some damage. That one well outside. So I know we've mentioned on the broadcast before, Flock, another one of those Vincennes products, not directly from there, but watch a breaking ball high. Started his collegiate career at Vincennes University before going to Georgetown and making his way back to his hometown team, as Georgetown is only about 10 minutes up the road. The 2-1 pitch. High again. Got to think if Bishop's unable to come back here, this could do it. But I'll have an opportunity to stick it out. The pitch. That one's outside. That's going to walk in. Second run for the Grenadiers. And now the catcher, Logan Murphy. And it looks like that's going to be it for Will Bishop, as head coach Evan McDonald gives the call down to the bullpen. So we'll step away here as we have a pitching change. We'll be back in a moment. Logan Smith will be the new pitcher for Ohio Christian. Smith in his 6th appearance, boasting a 16.5 ERA across 14 2/3 innings thus far. Trying to come in and right the ship for Ohio Christian, as he's going to fall behind the Grenadier catcher, Logan Murphy. So Murphy quickly ahead in the count, 2-0 now. Looking to hit something hard and increase this Grenadier lead. That one a gracious call there from the umpire. Cut on and missed. Good breaking ball there by Smith. Big spot here for the freshman. Breaking ball and a good one, fouled off by Murphy. Softball team and a barn burner across the way as it's tied 8-8 in the bottom of the 7th. Grenadiers looking for a walk-off win. Murphy stays alive with that. Logan Smith comes set. That one fouled off again. A good battle here by Murphy. He will see his 8th pitch of this at-bat in a moment. Smith continuing to battle here. Would love to put him away. Good breaking ball. And some aggressive base running by Powell, and that's going to be a run for the Grenadiers, as that one just gets a little too far away from Holler. So that's going to be another Grenadier run on a wild pitch. I mean, a good effort by Holler. Didn't get far out of the dirt circle, but just some aggressive heads-up base running by Powell. That one off the glove of Smith as he jumps up, and that's not going to be a play. So a good effort by the pitcher, but nonetheless, that's going to load the bases again. So we'll have a courtesy runner, number 28, Grant Shepard, for the Grenadier catcher. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Colin Long. It's a big spot here for the junior from Evansville, Indiana. As Smith still trying to limit the damage and put out the fire. First pitch in there, fouled away. And if for all those interested, we are heading to extras across the way for softball. So tied 8 going to the top of the 8th. Colin Long watches that one to even things up at 1-1. That one in there for a called strike. Long didn't love the call, but a strike regardless. Umpire behind the plate's the only opinion that matters on that one. So Smith ahead 1-2. That one's going to be hit softly to the third baseman. He's going to throw across to get Long, but that's going to be an RBI. So another run going to come across for the Grenadiers. And now the Grenadiers have batted around here in the bottom of the first as 9-hole Braden Hazelwood steps in with a couple runners in scoring position with 2 away. Hazelwood doesn't like the first pitch he sees, and he watches it high for ball 1. It's a check swing from Hazelwood, but a called strike anyway. Good job by the Grenadier senior not to offer something he wasn't a big fan of this early in the count. Max Flock, the runner at third. Grant Shepard, your runner at second. A base hit likely to score 2. Shepard plus speed on second. And with 2 away, going on contact. So Hazelwood would love to find some outfield grass with this one. But he does lead the count 3-1. And awaits the pitch from Logan Smith. Smith comes set. That one will be high for ball 4. So that'll turn things over here in the first inning to Slater Shield. Probably didn't have it on his bingo card that he was coming up twice here in the first inning, but the opportunity exists nonetheless. So bases loaded for Shield. 2 outs. Good breaking ball in there for a called strike. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here at Cutter Sports Complex. It was an odd, very mild wind earlier, as it's been pretty windy all spring here thus far in southern Indiana. And it's starting to show its form a little bit. As a pitcher in this ballpark, I always used to hate the wind because it seems to always be blowing out. Never a big fan when you get some wind-aided home runs hit off you. But Smith delivers the 0-2. That one's going to be hit, and that's going to be in the outfield just over the outreach glove of Keener. So that's going to be a 2 RBI single for Shield as the Grenadiers grow their lead to 6 here in the bottom of the first. And now brings up the dangerous Mason White with a pair of runners on and 2 away. White still leading the Grenadiers in RBIs. Has an even 30 coming into this one. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch, a breaking ball. It's going to be chopped to the second baseman. A good play there by Smith to get the force out at second. But the Grenadiers are going to strike for 6 here in the bottom of the first. So we'll head to the top half in New Albany. Grenadiers 6-0. Tyler Yakovich will face the designated hitter for Ohio Christian, Ridge Clark, to start things off in the top of the second. Yakovich had a lengthy sit as the Grenadiers struck for 6 in the bottom of the first. Batted around. And he's quickly ahead 0-2 now to Clark. Clark, as far as qualified batters goes, does lead this Ohio Christian team in average. And so foul that one off as well. 481 coming in this one. Across 27 at-bats. Does have 6 RBIs as well. So definitely the table setter for the Trailblazers. He finds himself in an 0-2 hole to start off the second. Pitch from Yakovich. Good two-seam, but that one's going to be high. That one a little more lateral movement than you normally see out of Yakovich. Traditionally, he's heavy sinker type pitcher. And that one somehow misses Clark as that's behind him, and a good job by Murphy just to knock that one down. Pitch. That one's going to be grounded foul. That one, a breaking ball, going to get a call as that one looked a little outside, but strike 3 nonetheless to Ridge Clark as Yakovich gets the Ohio Christian designated hitter down looking. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have to agree with Clark on that one, as that one appeared to be outside, but we'll take a friendly call every time we can get one. Healthy swing and a miss there by DeBoer. No one swung on again. So good job to stay on the attack by Yakovich. And he's working quickly, a good tempo. He's ready. Shakes off twice, has his sign. The 0-2 pitch. Good job by the Christian first baseman to stay alive. We'll have another 0-2. That one chopped to second. Burdette there to make the play and the throw in plenty of time. So a couple quick outs for Grenadiers. And I'll bring up left fielder Spencer Crane. His first at-bat of the day. Coming into this one, Crane was hitting at just under the Mendoza line at 194. Good pitch there by Yakovich, but a better hold by Crane. Does have 6 RBIs and a home run to his credit early in the early going. Big swing and a miss there. Yakovich ahead 1-2. Looking for another quick inning. Has a sign and looks to deliver. Cut on and missed. Good job by Murphy. And the throw down in plenty of time. So another 1-2-3 inning for Yakovich as we head to the bottom of the second. Grenadiers still lead this one 6-0. New pitcher for Ohio Christian, sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, Trey Blakeman gets the nod. Second time we've seen Blakeman in this series, as he did make an appearance last Thursday. Still funny enough to me that it is considered a series being 4 days apart, but that is early March weather for you here in the Ohio River Valley. His first batter he'll see will be the shortstop, Cody Putnam. I believe Putnam drew a walk in his first at-bat. That one hit a mile in the air. Under is Keener, and he'll secure that one for the first out. So a better start here for the Trailblazers as leadoff man retired for IU Southeast. Designated hitter Luke Powell steps in for his second at-bat. Good job by Blakeman to get the leadoff man retired. Yeah, 1. That one misses low. As I mentioned earlier, Luke Powell still trying to get his footing a little bit. Is making progress towards that, as he does have a handful of RBIs in his last couple games. As I think after talking with a couple of the players and Powell himself, he's starting to see the ball a little better. Was a little antsy early on, trying to do a little too much, especially with the new ball club, but things starting to settle in for him a little bit, as that one's going to be low, 3-1. Blakeman set and delivers. So 2 walks and 2 at-bats for Luke Powell, as now Ethan Burdett makes way. Burdett starts his at-bat ahead, 1-0. Off on the pitch, and no throw from Holler, as I unable to come up with that one cleanly. So it'll be a 2-0 count to Burdett, and a stolen base for Luke Powell. Now running scoring position for the Grenadier second baseman. That one right back up the middle. Good diving effort from the middle infielders, but that's going to be another run. So good job by Burdett to hit that one right back where it came from, and a good effort by both the middle infielders, just right between them, split them evenly. But the Grenadiers jump out to a 7-0 lead now. First baseman Max Flock will step in again. That one hit well, giving chase is Henry. That one's going to be off the track and then off the wall. So another RBI for IU Southeast. So that's going to be an RBI double for Max Flock. And the lead 8-0 IU Southeast. The hits and the runs just keep coming for the Grenadiers. Logan Murphy steps in again here. Runner in scoring position in the form of Max Flock at second base. And still just one out. Blakeman's first pitch is going to be in the dirt. Back-to-back dirt balls, and a good job from Haller to keep Flock at second. Able to pounce on that one pretty quick. And an inside move, but no throw from Blakeman, so that'll be his one reset in this at-bat. Blakeman comes set. That one's going to be outside. Three balls, no strikes to the Grenadier catcher. Long waits on second, or on deck rather. Flock waits on second. See if Murphy can drive him in. That one hit high into center. Henry giving chase under that one. Is it going to be deep enough to advance Flock? He's going to give it an effort, and he's going to be in there easily. So productive out for Murphy. We'll move Flock to third. 2 outs now for the left fielder, Colin Long. Action down in the Ohio Christian bullpen. But Blakeman trying to get out of it here. His first pitch hit hard and caught by the shortstop Keener. So that's going to do it for the Grenadiers in the bottom half. But they do strike for 2 as the lead grows to 8 heading to the top of the third here in New Albany. Ross Donaldson will lead things off for Ohio Christian. Tyler Yakovich out in another inning. And his first pitch will be in there for a called strike. That one's going to miss. Keep you all updated across the street. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Still tied 8-8. So Grenadiers another chance to walk it off. And I mean, hats off so far anyway to Macy Warner, as that one's going to be smoked into right field, and that's going to be down the line. So that's going to be extra bases for Donaldson. We'll see if it's just 2 or 3. A great effort there by Hazelwood to slide and get it in quickly, as that's going to leave it as an easy double, but a leadoff double nonetheless for Ross Donaldson and the Trailblazers. Brings up the catcher, Caleb Haller. Christian has their first hit in the form of a leadoff double. It's a good swing from the Woodlands, Texas native. Swing and miss at a good breaking ball by Haller. One pitch to Haller. Cut on and missed. A good sinking fastball there from Yakovich. Count now 1-2. Grenadiers hit the road this upcoming weekend. Their first road conference series. It'll be in Rio Grande, Ohio against the University of Rio Grande. And we're going to have a pitch clock violation. So that'll, I believe it's 2-2, right? Luke, thank you. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's not going to matter because he's going to go down looking his Haller. So a great comeback pitch there from Yakovich. And that's going to be the first out for Christian. And that'll make way for the shortstop, Andrew Keener. Yakovich working quickly and good sinking fastball there, cut on missed. As I said, they're going to head to Rio Grande to face the University of Rio Grande on the road. Ohio Christian will be at home in Circleville this next weekend against Brescia University. So that one hit on the screws into center. Good job there by Mason White to get that before it dies down. So back-to-back outs as there's 2 away now. But it'll turn things over to the top of the lineup and Trey Henry. Henry, the senior from Lancaster, Ohio. I'm going to hope I said that right, as it's one of those towns that some states call it differently than others. First pitch to him is going to be in the dirt, though. Lancaster, Lancaster, one of the two, I would like to think. Yakovich has his sign and looks to deliver. Things are even now 1-1. Henry trying to extend the inning, give the Trailblazers a chance to get on the board. Yakovich has other plans. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled into the Ohio Christian dugout to even things at 2-2. That one will miss high. Full count here to Henry. Payoff pitch. That one's going to be unable to make the catch, and I think that may have caught him in the face. As Long is down. So that's going to be an RBI double for Trey Henry, but we're going to step away for a moment as that one may have caught a piece of Long. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, so it looks like Colin Long is going to be all right as he will shake it off. That one, I think, just kind of carried a little more towards him than he thought, so when he dove, just a little miscalculation. But Ohio Christian does scratch their first run of the game here. And that one's going to be a cue shot over to first, Flock there, and flips over in plenty of time to Jakovic. So one is all they will get, but they do scratch the single run. So we head to the bottom of the third now, 8-1 IU Southeast. New pitcher for the Trailblazers, number 22, Lucas Alexander, freshman from Bloomington, Indiana. So a little more in his neck of the woods than Circleville. And that one going to be hit hard into deep left. It's got a chance off the wall. That's going to be extra bases for Hazelwood. I thought he had a chance to get one. But a leadoff double nonetheless for Braden Hazelwood, as that one was absolutely smoked. So that turns the lineup over for the second time. Slater Shield will get his third opportunity with a runner in scoring position. Off the bat, I thought that one had a chance, especially with this wind, but wind appears to have died down maybe off the wall. Good swing from Hazy, as that one probably felt good. I know he's been searching a little bit. Like many others, starting to come around is the senior from Canby, Indiana. Slater Shield heading the count 1-0. That one's going to be fouled out of play. The 1-1. Breaking ball and a good job by Haller. 2-1 and an absolute marathon final game across the street as they head to the bottom of the 10th. Score still tied at 8 for your Grenadier softball team. Alexander delivers the 2-1. Another breaking ball. That one misses. Must have been a little high. I think Alexander wanted that one, and I'm going to have to agree with him. But 3-1 count to Slater Shield nonetheless. Pitch. That one is inside, so that's going to be ball 4. Good start to the bottom of the third for IU Southeast. Mason White has runners on first and second here with nobody out. See if Brett Neffendorf decides to go with any type of action, as there's plus speed on both first and second for Shield and Hazelwood. Alexander looks in, has his sign. So he'll deliver first pitch to White. That one catches the outside corner for strike 1. I have a feeling you're going to see a pretty hefty swing from White if he gets something that he likes. The 1-0, or 0-1 rather. They'll throw behind Shield, and first baseman not there, so that's going to kick off of Shield's foot, and the runners are going to advance, as that's going to be an error on the catcher. That'll allow those two to advance. So count 2-1. Grenadiers on second and third for White. 2-1 pitch. In the dirt. Good job by Haller to keep it there. As that's going to be a balk that you don't see every day, but the catcher used his mask to stop the ball. As it's a two-base balk. And catcher nodding as if he knows what he did. So now no one on base for Mason White. Healthy cut, as he had certain intentions with that swing. And that's going to be ball 4. Cody Putnam. And that's going to be ball 1 to Putnam, and Mason's going to advance a second on stolen base. That one's going to be in the hole, and a good play by Keener. Will the throw be in time? No. As that's one heck of an effort there from the Trailblazer shortstop, as White's not able to advance, but Putnam's going to leg it out and going to beat that out. Runners on first and second now for Luke Powell. First pitch to Powell will be outside. Good pitch from Alexander, fired in there to even things up. And that one's going to get away, so a wild pitch will move the runners into scoring position. Good pitch to even things up again there by Alexander. That one hit softly to second. Smith makes the play, but the Grenadiers will get a run. So the lead grows to 10, double digits now for the first time. Ethan Burdett will step in now. First pitch hit high behind the first baseman and there to make the play. So quick out by Burdett. And Max Flock steps in now with 2 outs, and Cody Putnam standing on third. That one's going to miss low for ball 1. The 1-0. Now I'm going to get the call 2-0. Good job to save a run by Haller. That one hit well into left center, but there and plenty of time is Henry, so that's going to do it for the Grenadiers. But they will get 3, so they lead this one heading to the top of the fourth, 11-1. I'll be back in just a moment here in New Albany. Tyler Yakovich out for another inning of work. He'll face Ben Starrett, who's taking a healthy hack of the first one. Swing and a miss. Update, we have a final across the street. Grenadiers take the one in 10, 9-8, as Starrett is going to ground that one over to Burdett, and a good play, and going to fumble it, so it's going to be an error there on Yakovich. So unable to secure the throw. And that'll bring up Ridge Clark. But as I was saying, softball team takes both ends of the doubleheader. Second game in 10 innings. They'll win it 9-8. Leadoff double by Aaron Templeman, and then a walk-off double by the senior Macy Zink. So a couple seniors getting the job done for IU Southeast across the way. So they start off their first conference weekend 4-0. Good job to the ladies across the street. As Ridge Clark is quickly behind 0-2 here. Pitch from Yakovich. That one's going to be chopped foul. And a good battle by Clark, as he's not going down easy. As Murphy's going to make a snap throw, but back in plenty of time with Starrett. The 1-2 pitch from Yakovich. That one's inside, almost caught him, but Clark gets out of the way. Cut on and missed. A good pitch there by Yak for the first out here in the top of the fourth. Now the first baseman, Tate DeBoard. Puts a charge into this one. White there, and will make the catch. So one pitch and a fly out for Tate DeBoard. So quickly now 2 away. Left fielder Spencer Crane steps in. Tries to extend the inning for Ohio Christian. White almost like he misread that a little bit. That one's going to be fouled. First couple steps were back, but that ended up being a little more shallow than he anticipated. So good running catch there by White. That one well outside. Another snap throw by Murphy, but nowhere in time. There's one thing about Logan Murphy is he is not afraid to make those snap throws. That one's going to be fouled off by Spencer Crane, so count 1-2. Ohio Christian has 2 outs, but a runner on first in the form of Ben Starrett. The 1-2 from Yak. Breaking ball, but that's going to be low. 2-2. So Spencer Crane going to call time. That'll be an offensive conference. One of the nuances of the pace of play rules in collegiate baseball. As unless it's a perceived safety issue, umpire not supposed to grant time to the batter anymore unless they use a conference. So 2-2 pitch to Crane. In there, strike 3, and a good job there by Yakovich. Freezes him with a little bit of a back door on the hands sinker. So good bounce back after the single by Starrett. So we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Grenadiers lead this one 11-1. Couple changes for Ohio Christian, both in the battery, as Tyler Keller will take over the catching duties for the new pitcher, number 37, Levi Hammond. And Logan Murphy is set to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth. And as we now have personnel and equipment over here at baseball. I'm joined by the always lovely Logan Stevens. Logan, how was softball today?
Hey, doubleheader sweep. Second game going 10 innings. Heck of a roller coaster over there, but you can't argue with 2 wins. As we see, quite a lead over here as well.
We do, as the Grenadiers lead this one 11-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Levi Hammond, he will deliver his first pitch to Murphy. That one's hit high. I don't think far enough to get out. Under it is Crane. That one a big league fly. That one almost squibbed out of the glove of Crane, but he secures it. So 1 pitch, 1 out. So good start here by Hammond.
Yeah, that was an interesting one too. Had time to get the hand up, guard the sunglasses, find the ball again, get it into the glove.
Yeah, I think that's big league fly territory, as that one was hit a mile in the air. And good job by Crane to battle with the wind as it's picked up again. So Colin Long steps in. So watch a ball. See if I can't get you the stats on Levi Hammond thus far. And a breaking ball is going to miss outside. Well, Logan, it appears this may be Levi Hammond's first appearance on the year.
Oh, wow.
On the mound. And, I mean, and
That's
a good breaking
gross.
ball there.
That's pretty gross.
As it appears on Presto. Now, granted, it is Presto, so it could be a malfunction there. But does not show any pitching stats for Levi Hammond. And not going to get a call there. Is a good pitch, but just outside. Which is interesting because Levi Hammond is listed as only a pitcher on the roster. So possibly coming back from injury of some sort. Who knows?
Yeah, I looked down and saw he was a New Albany native, but it's New Albany, Ohio.
Yeah, it got you. Got you a little bit.
Me just a little bit. There's looks like a walk.
Yeah, ball forward to Colin Long. So bring up Braden Hazelwood. Hazy, a double off the wall in his last at bat. Found himself a barrel to lead things off in the 3rd. So he'll step in with 1 out and runner on first.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty breaking ball.
And called strike. Hazelwood, not a fan of that one, but strike nonetheless. Hammond, like you said, the native of New Albany, Ohio, not Indiana, junior, fires that one in there to even things up for a ball. Hammond comes set. Another breaking ball almost hits Hazelwood in the helmet, but ducks out of the way.
Yeah, a little wild is Hammond. Pretty good nasty stuff. You don't really know where it's going to go sometimes, it looks like.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's been the case for Ohio Christian thus far. A lot of free bases. And a good pitch there and a healthy hack by Hazelwood.
That ball is fouled away. And a healthy swing and a miss by Braden Hazelwood, as that is going to be a strikeout. So the rotating carousel of seats continue as Ben Reel joins me now.
Fresh off work, let's get it.
That's going to bring up Slater Shield.
Grenadiers taking their hot play on Thursday into Monday.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Weather warms up, so does Grenadier baseball.
The first pitch is in there for a strike to Slater Shield.
Yeah, they're looking good. It looks like they've got some energy. They're excited, to kind of turn the page, get back to 500. Right, if they win this game, they're at 500. I think, correct?
I do believe so. Yes, be 11-11. As the runner takes off towards second, and he will be in there quite easily. And the throw is going to get away, and it's out no man's land as a big turn at third base is Colin Long, but he will slide into third base.
A good heads-up play by Long, getting a good jump on the pitcher, and then a lot of guys when they run the bases, it's like they just do it. You tell him to steal, and he gets to that base, and it's like I did my job versus like playing the game and sliding in with his head up, seeing the ball get away from the middle infielders, and then moving up to third base.
An RBI opportunity here, as that ball is going to miss high.
Yeah, at this pace, looks like it's going to be a shortened game, which one of the things I'm not a huge fan of is the 10-run rule. I know not so much for
that ball is lifted into right field. That's going to be the third out of the inning.
Not so much for the the fans, administrators, everybody that's watching the games or putting on the games, but for the team aspect, those last 6 outs, you can get guys extra work in, and it's just nice to see. There's some guys that they need those extra opportunities to develop.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
New pitcher.
It's going to be, looks like number 38, Jackson Grissom.
Local product from Butler High School. Shout out to Troy Frazier, the head coach at Butler High School. Super standout college baseball player. Actually, his senior year, he transferred from University of Kentucky in the SEC to Cumberland University and hit like 30 home runs.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
But Troy does a great job, and tough-nosed high school coach in the area that gets guys prepared for moving on.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of.
Got some, looks like Coulter Hamilton over at third base. Trevor Goodwin at first.
Yeah, some changes I see here. Yeah, Coulter Hamilton's a freshman, big league body over at third, long levers, got a chance to be really good down the road. Trevor Goodwin, comes in the game at first. Trevor was a big piece last year as a freshman for the Grenadiers. Clubbed some absolute moon shots.
Yeah.
But great team guy. Got some good young blood in the Grenadiers, system for years to come, which is exciting.
That's the first thing when I saw Coulter Hamilton walk in, I was like, that's just a big league look right there. Everything about him just looks big league.
Yeah, comes from a great high school, Brownsburg High School. Talking about Lance Lynn, Tucker Barnhart, even here, Logan Coughlin, one of the Grenadiers' finest ever in my tenure. Brownsburg's great baseball program, high school baseball program.
And the first pitch to Ross Donaldson is fouled away for a strike one.
Yeah, Jackson here on the mound, man. I think this kid could be really, really good. He's funky, hides the ball well, real deceptive, competitive. I think he started off the greatest this year, but that's okay.
That ball is going to be grounded over to Burdett at second, on to first, out number one. So a light roller on to Burdett. He had a heck of a weekend.
Yeah.
Really good ball player.
Yes, he is.
And that'll bring up Tyler Keller. We just saw him come in at catcher. first pitch from Grissom is going to be roped to shortstop. Cody Putnam plays it on a bounce on to first base, and they got another out. So back-to-back ground balls induced by Jackson Grissom. There are 2 away.
Yeah, good sign for the young southpaw. They're filling it up and goes out there, gets ahead of hitters. Most importantly, you know, in an age of gimmicks and gadgets, I think in all sports, you know, things are just timeless, and that's just throwing strikes as a pitcher. You know, I saw a quote the other day that said, "Nobody cares how hard your ball 4 was thrown," you know. But strike 1 is a huge deal. I think even more importantly is getting the leadoff hitter out. You know, it's hard to score crooked numbers in an inning.
That's going to be punched to right field for a base hit.
When you start every inning off with, you know, 2 out or 1 out, it's like you only have 2 outs left. You know, that last out is pretty important. So strike 1. Actually, there was a study, and Larry Owen shared this with me, that in the minor league system, I don't know if it was 2019, 2018, something like that, where at any time strike 1 was thrown to a batter, 68% of the time the batter was out.
Wow.
So it's pretty.
Yeah, that's a heck of a stat.
Well, I mean, in a, you know, like we talked about on earlier earlier broadcasts, where, you know, baseball is a game about who fails the least. You know, it's not really about who's the most successful. It's just so hard to be good at it. Like we said, it's like riding a bull for 8 seconds with your shirt tucked in, or it's like climbing a mountain without ropes, something like that. Hitting the baseball stuff.
Here's the 0-1. That's going to miss in the dirt. 1-1. Hitter now, number 21, Steven Larkins. We saw him in the doubleheader.
I like this kid. I told Evan during the rain out on Friday that this is one of my favorite OCU players. I know he started off kind of tough and streaky, but I don't know. From last year, from looking back on it, it's kind of fuzzy now. But somebody's got some tools, and there's something about this kid, just how he goes about his business. He's quiet in the box. He can run. He's strong. He's got some bat speed.
The 1-2 is going to be checked again. On to first base is Logan Murphy. So a 2-out single does not come into play as we head into the bottom of the 5th. The score 11-1. right, the power-hitting Mason White will step in and lead off the inning for the Grenadiers. A guy you know pretty well, Ben.
Oh, yeah. Just an amazing human. Love Mace. I think anybody who's – I think what I love the most about Mace looking back on it, and I've had time to reflect on a lot of these things, is just Mace is an everyday guy. You know, if you there's just something about, you know, I guess in recent years, scouting for different major league teams or coaching and really just kind of getting down to the nuts and bolts of what I feel like is the most important thing. There's just something about a player's greatest ability being dependability. And
that ball is launched into right field. At the wall is going to make the catch. Oh, no, he dropped it. Off the glove of the right fielder. As Mason's going to turn around, and he's going to head to third. And that throw is going to get away, but he's going to stay at third. That ball looked like it was going to be caught, but bouncing off the glove. The Grenadiers have runner on third base.
Yeah, I think any of the people tuning in that, you know, were to have played here, whether it's recently or in years way past or during my tenure, will tell you that it's tough, man. And one of the things that I wish that we would have done years ago when we put up new fencing here is move the fences in. I mean, it's like the ball that Hazy hit early in the game, you know, as I was coming up, it just like, you know, hits a laser and it you know, just leaves an exit wound in the wall. You know, it's a lot of these balls, if you look at, you know, a lot of, you know, facilities that we play at, whether it be Campbellsville, Cumberland U, I don't know. I mean, you can even go conference schools. A lot of these balls that we hit, like that ball is gone, like way gone. You know, where if you think about it, the gap here at IU Southeast is bigger than probably 99% of most high school field center field fences. But
that's in there for a strike. Yeah, that ball off the bat looked like it had a chance, and like you said,
I mean, you think about it. Kyle Lynn is I think he's our home run record holder still. Kyle played for me in 2009 and 10, but Kyle hit 24 home runs his senior year. For the guys listening, so every time he swung and didn't hit a home run, we're like, oh man, it was like he hit so many of them. But
that ball is going to be lifted into center field. That one's going to be caught, but it will be a sacrifice fly for Cody Putnam, and the Grenadiers take a 12-1 lead.
Yeah, both those balls are, you know, hit. But those balls are cooked. Yeah, but I thought Mason's ball that he hit was going to be my first ever back, you know, Chris Berman style that was like, no, that's in the park. So I told Hawk before I started doing this, like I can see myself getting into it and being like, that ball's crushed, it's out of, you know, it's out, it's caught at the fence. No, but actually one of my favorite things is when teams come here to play, especially midweek, like whether it be, you know, the good ones, you know, the teams on our schedule. We have a great schedule here, but watch them take BP and guys be like, you know, man, it's like you see the reaction like that's cooked, and it's like, no, that's a can of corn here. So
we see a pinch hitter, Connor Scheidt.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of a guy who can hit the ball.
He can hit.
I remember the Halloween game, as we've referenced, had opposite field home run wearing a panda costume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Connor can hit. Great family, too. Connor's a great kid.
That ball's going to bounce and hit him. So, going to wear that one. Let's head down to first base.
Yeah, I really love the class that we put together last year before I retired. Got some great. I mean, we always have great people here, but just continuing that. And I mean, me and Coach Neff talked about it. Just got some great people that are coming in here as young players and get a chance to be a part of something special. And I'm excited to follow them and watch them in future years.
Ethan Burdett steps in. He's a ball player, Ethan Burdett. Yeah. That's how I describe him.
Birdie. Bam, bam, birdie. It's like he drags his bat up there like bam, bam, and just barrel. The other night, man, I mean, every ball he hit was just cooked.
And there's another one that's cooked, and that's going to be a fair ball down the line. That's going to roll into the very corner. Connor
Come on,
Scheidt
Scheidt. Come on,
on his
Scheidt.
way to
Come
third
on, come
base.
on,
They're
come on.
waving him in.
Come on.
Here comes the throw home, and Connor Scheidt is in there. So that's going to be an RBI double for Ethan Burdett, advancing to third on the throw, and big Connor Scheidt scoring from first base.
Scheidt looked like he had a minute to put in a call for a booper. Yeah, that's awesome.
Big time bat, and just another barrel for Ethan Burdett. That ball just he sleeps and just barrels balls.
Yeah, I mean, there is something about there's just certain hitters that just, going back to we mentioned Logan Coughlin earlier. Like Logan had a stretch his senior year here where he started off pretty rough, and he was swinging at balls out of the zone, kind of like just struggling to, it's like everybody, It's crazy. This is worth noting. Like guys who, throw 95, they love to throw. They love to throw hard. Guys that can hit, love to swing. But there's just certain guys out there that when they swing and they find contact or they find the bat, the ball it's barreled, and he's one of them.
And that ball is going to get away, and that's going to be another run for IU Southeast. 14-1 now.
Yeah, the Grinnies are, I think, kind of following the same path that we followed for a lot, most of my careers, where it's tough early. You find your groove about this time of the year, and they really play their best baseball at the end. And that's really the goal. That's one thing I can say about, my career or my experiences where, we usually peaked at the right times. And that's I don't know how or why we just did. Looking back on it, I don't think I really knew what I was doing my whole career. I was hired as the youngest head coach in the country at 23. I didn't really know what I was doing for most of my career, but our team's always found a way just to get better and better and better. And I think that's a credit to our many coaching staffs that we had in my tenure. But it's kind of following that same trend, where. Early in the year, it's tough to find your groove.
Yeah, seem to be finding it now, though. It's a couple foul balls. Brings a 1-2, and that's on the dirt.
Yeah, big weekend. Actually, big week. You got Campbellsville, I think, on Wednesday, and you've got at home at 5 o'clock, I'm pretty sure. And then you've got Rio this weekend and Warney and the Red Storm. I mean, you do a great job.
Yeah, always a big series against Rio every single year.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean,
that ball is a rope into right center, and that's going to split the defenders, the outfielders, I should say. Big time throw into second base. Going to be
head
off
first
line.
slide. So Goody has incorporated the head first slide this year.
Interesting. That ball was smoked as well.
No, Warney, man, that series, I mean, even going back to the glory days, I mean, for listeners that don't know, I mean, this conference has had some incredible teams over the years. I'm not just saying the Grenadiers. I'm talking about the foes on the schedule. Rio's had some, man. They've had some unbelievable players back in 16, 17, 18 when they had Darian Lewis and. Oh my gosh, Dylan Shockley, Dylan. I think he is projected to be Double-A this year for the Pirates. One of the best backstops the conference has seen. He was a freshman in 2016. Got drafted by the Pirates. They actually had another guy signed last year, the Chauvin kid. He was mid-90s, 6'7". He was thrown out of the clouds. But Warney's had some really good players over there. He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, really good school. Pretty much in everything. Rio is always a rival of basketball as well as baseball and softball.
Okay.
The ball misses.
Yeah, Warney's one of them guys, man, that, it's crazy when you I'm not going to lie, me and him butted heads over the years, but I think a lot of it was just we both cared. I mean, we both wanted to win, and we both wanted the best for our programs. But, if you come out to the series and watch him, play Rio, you'll see, Warney throws the majority, if not all of BP every day. He hits probably the majority, if not all, the fungos. He calls the majority, if not all, the pitches. He coaches third. I mean, and he's a guy that's been doing it for probably 30 years, 30-plus years. It takes a lot of passion to want to do it.
Doing it for a long time, high level.
Oh, yeah, they've had some great teams, great players. Had pros out of there. They've had guys that, they've had some great players.
3-2 to Noah Hassan now, the pinch hitter.
Now, this is a guy I'm excited about. Kind of being a fly on the wall at times around the program, and I, for the listeners would probably think that, Real's here all the time. Real's not here all the time. Real's raising babies. But when I am around, this is a kid that I've kind of noticed just as a young, another young guy in the class. But he's a freshman catcher, but just he reminds me of Ben Berenda. He's got some feel. He's got a great personality. He's very authentic and genuine and sincere, and it's tough to be, especially as a catcher, where if you're a freshman outfielder and you show up at practice to take fly balls, catchers get the break speed off of them every day, and it's hard to, being a former catcher myself, it's hard to stay in a great mindset when you're like a backup offensive lineman and you're just feel like you're just getting beat up every day. But he's got a great personality, great mentality. I'm excited to see him. I had a conversation with him in the parking lot the other night, just to kind of stay the course and just be positive. And I think Brett, Coach Neff sees the same thing in him. He's just he's a great addition.
Yeah, fly out to center field. We'll bring up number 28, Grant Shepard.
This kid's going to be a dude.
And that ball bounces.
Yeah, Shep's advanced. It looks like Coach Neff has kind of gone with. I think Shep could be actually one of the biggest pieces to this team. I don't know exactly how they're going to, mix him in to get him his reps, or if he's going to be like a defensive replacement or a DH pinch hitter or a guy that you match up with. But Shep's got a lot of tools. And
that ball is floated into no man's land, but it's going to be run down by the center field. And so the Grenadiers head to the 6th inning, score 14-1.
So a lot of changes for Grenadiers. Try to get to him in a second. New arm, though, Carmen Fichitola.
He could be a dude.
First pitch. So I'll set the new outfield as we have an entire new defense for the Grenadiers minus the middle infielders. Left to right in the outfield is Gabe Yonto, Grant Shepard, and Ryan Castle in right. Coulter Hamilton takes over for Shield at third. Putnam and Burdett still up the middle. Trevor Goodwin stays in to play first base. And Hasong stays in to be the backstop. So he's your battery mate with Carmen.
How do you say Carmen's last name?
Fichitola.
Fichitola.
That's what I've been told. So if that's wrong,
Yeah.
I'm going to blame Jonette.
I think Carmen could be good.
He's got some really good stuff.
He does. He's got a. I've actually talked to him a few times. This is actually my first time actually seeing him play, like live for the Grenadiers. But he's got the size. He's got a loose arm. Got a really mild-mannered personality, which I actually enjoy out of pitchers. It's my experience with. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like that. Fiery, beat your chest.
That one cut on and missed by Haynes. So good job to battle back down 2-0 for Fichitola as he gets his first strikeout of the day.
Yeah, but we've had some, last year we had some great relievers, Luke McLaughlin, somebody sitting next to me up here in the booth, but him and, Freeze will beat his chest, Hill, some of those guys, but Carmen's the type to really just see, very, kind of Matt Bowles-ish, like probably wears his confidence more on the inside than the outside.
So we'll have a pinch hitter for Ohio Christian in the form of Matthew Keener. So watch his first pitch. Ball one.
Who's the big boy for OCU, the first baseman, the big guy?
DeBoard.
Hey man, he's got standing down there today before I got up here in the booth. He got some bat speed, Yeah, OCU's got a good club. I know it's been a tough year, but I talked to Evan during the right before they pulled out of town on Friday because of the rain. In a brief stint here, just about he lost a lot of big pieces. I mean, Pop. Congrats to Tanner Pop and his wife on the arrival of their new baby girl Sutton. But
that one's going to be hit to Putnam at short. Strong throw over in plenty of time for the second out.
Yeah, I still have really noticed the competitiveness of OCU in recent years. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
I know the scoreboard hasn't always reflected it, but they just feel like they're just more competitive and just tougher. I'm excited to see how they do when they kind of move in a different direction as a school and to the NCCAA.
Jared Sanders will watch a called strike for his first at bat. Yeah, I think Ohio Christian, and just in my experiences with them, they've grown a lot from like that competitiveness factor. Because we talked about on Thursday, being at their place in 19 and just 0-0 going to 16 innings or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. And they had a leadoff guy, on and not. I know you remember it better because you played in the game, but they had a lot of chances to strike and they just couldn't. It wasn't. I feel like if you put, I don't know, maybe some of these teams of late in those spots, I think they would have capitalized. Like last year when we threw Schaaf, I think on the first day, and they it wasn't like huge swings, but they didn't come out and they weren't like whoa, they came out with a very competitive, aggressive mentality.
As that one's going to be through the right side, so 2-out base knock for Sanders will keep things alive here in the top of the sixth for Ohio Christian.
Now this is what I want to see right here. This is what I like. And spring training for a Grenadier pitcher in my tenure was like your first appearance out of bullpens was like, all right, guys at first and second, guys at first. I love seeing guys pitch with guys on base. That's what I love. So
Fichitola will get his chance with that here. Not inherited, but
good job, Noah.
Yeah, good job by Hasong to keep Sanders at first.
Surprised Good he's holding him on, but no right or wrong way to do it. It's just the double play is not in order.
And that one's going to be in the left center gap for DeBoard. It's got a chance for extra bases.
Good job. Plays it 2. Put it on him.
And the throw, and a strong
Great
throw by
job.
Gabe Yonto
Great job, Gabe.
gets DeBoard to try to stretch that for a double. So 2 hits for Christian, but no runs as they'll strand a couple as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Score still 14-1.
Love that.
Ryan Castle will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th for IU Southeast.
Grenadiers got some good athletes coming off the bench, which I think is big. That's what I was saying earlier. I really do not like the 10-run rule. Not, when you think about it from a fan's perspective or administrator's perspective or our perspective, it makes for some long hours. But from a coaching perspective, these are some pretty crucial moments in development. Getting some of these guys some reps, I don't know. I feel like not only would programs be in a better place if you could get more people in the game, but not so much just that, because people are happier, but actually seeing people compete in a game. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, and Castle definitely a candidate as he's battled back from some off-season and then early season injuries. So looking to get the reps any way he can and try to make the most of it.
Yeah, shout out to the umpiring crew. I talked to him a little bit on Friday. Just, they've done a great job. Brad Wilson as the assigner and his group of guys. But these guys have done a good job just, really not deciding that this game's out of hand, so anything in the air is going to be a strike. I like that, Because, like we mentioned, these umpires are paid probably more than anybody out here working today.
Definitely on our side. I know that one. But 2-2 count here to Castle. New pitcher for Christian is Matt Bradley. And he's going to get a strikeout look and has a good fastball on the outside half.
Whoa.
So leadoff man retired, and that makes way for Coulter Hamilton. He'll get his first at-bat of the afternoon after taking over for Shield at third base in the last half inning.
Yeah, this kid's going to be good.
Yes, Hamilton shown early. He's got a little bit of juice in there and a big lean frame. The 6'3" freshman from Brownsburg, Indiana. An opportunity for him to, like you said, get some valuable experience, especially when there's only, really 7 positions outside of the battery to have, when you have such a veteran ball club like IU Southeast does, freshmen getting opportunities can sometimes be a challenge. Now, Brett Neffendorf has done a good job, I'd say, of getting a lot of guys reps early this year.
Done a really good job. He actually has done a better job than I think I've ever did in my entire career. He's played a lot of guys early, and it's tough to do. I mean, I say it's tough to do because I never really did it. My style was to pretty much break camp or break spring training with, 14 to 16 position players, and that was it, really. And, at one point I think we went through and he had given 19 to 20 guys a bone in terms of position player-wise, and I thought that's, in a way, it seems virtuous, but it's like I like that because these guys, college baseball is just one of the hard. Maybe it's the same with softball or other outdoor sports or spring sports. It feels like all you do is practice and you just don't play a lot. I feel like all I remember. Well, yeah, I think that's what I miss the most. That's what I've struggled with the most in terms of retirement is.
That one's hit well into the right center gap. That's got a chance to get down, and it will, and that's going to be extra bases. So a good job there by the freshman. Finds himself an extra base hit, and the Grenadiers have a runner in scoring position for the redshirt freshman Gabe Yonto.
Yeah. I hope Hamilton really – I'm not saying he doesn't, so this is not to say he doesn't stick with it or apply himself, but I think that kid – well, one day I walked in here, and he was starting shortstop, and I was like, wow. But just watching him and BP and just, some of his actions, I think he could be one of the – really good young, skilled players offensively and defensively for the Grenadiers.
Absolutely. As Gabe Yonto looking to try to get things going as he's
fresh off his assist.
Yeah. Not too often do you get to come off the bench and get an outfield assist, but Yonto did just that. Like you mentioned, just knowing to go where with the ball is extremely important, especially not trying to get greedy and always getting the lead guy when they don't have any chance on, right?
Yeah, I saw it the other night.
What is it, 90% of the time the play's at second base from the outfield?
Yeah, I saw it the other night. This is kind of I mentioned off air, I really want to start a 8 to 10 week program in the area for youth coaches, and it may even turn to the regional area, just to maybe it's you can be a part of it online or from a Zoom aspect, just to teach young coaches how to.
Yeah, that one's going to catch him right in the numbers. So quality at bat. Bradley's going to make Yonto earn it though, as it was 3-0. He wasn't just going to give him a free pass. But yeah, and that's something that
I just want people to understand
Brendan Gibson going to get his first action here on the year. Had to take a second glance at that one.
Tell you what, this kid right here, he finds barrel. It's going to go. I've seen him.
Yeah, he's a guy you want on your side in a fight. That he is just absolutely built, farm strong.
Mm-hmm. Great dude as well.
So Brennan Gibson, we'll watch a breaking ball in there for strike 2. So an opportunity for Gibson to shake the rust off, the transfer from Brescia University. And I think that's something that says a little bit about Gibson's character, as well as when he made the decision to come here, the rule was still in place within the conference that if you transfer into the conference, you had to sit out for 365 days. That has since been changed, which allows him to play this year. But he just wanted to be a part of it and knew it was closer to home and just the right opportunity for him. as that one's going to be hit hard to third and opportunity to turn 2, and they'll get the guy at second. But that's going to go down as a fielder's choice. So no hit in his first at-bat, but he will find himself on base.
Yeah, something I think that the NAI has done, or just small college baseball in general, has extended the red shirt rule where I'm pretty sure
20% rule now.
Yeah, so these guys get a chance to play in 10 games, and if they're not on the postseason roster, get a chance to redshirt and do it again. I think that's really cool. I think that's something that probably a lot of guys listening are just like, you could grit your teeth about a little bit just because they didn't get that opportunity. It used to be if you appeared in one game as a runner or as a pitcher, as a one at bat, it was a season, and I just never understood stuff like that.
Connor Scheidt will watch that one inside, and that's what brings up. They just announced the proposed legislation changes that'll be at this year's NAI convention. One of them being essentially an appeal to a transfer if they were charged a season at an NCAA or a junior college school if it was caused only by practices, right? Because in the Division I, Division II, Division III, if you practice X amount during the season, you get charged a season whether you appear in a game or not.
That's ridiculous.
I assume that's something that has a good chance of getting passed this year, but that one's going to be into left. And a diving effort, but not there to make the play, so that's going to be a base knock for Scheidt.
Great job, Scheidt.
And
hey, fun fact.
Is that his first collegiate hit, or did he?
I don't know.
I think that's going to be the first collegiate knock for Connor Scheidt. So,
Fun fact with
congratulations.
Scheidt is a devout deer hunter. I love that. It'd be tough sitting in the woods and watch the squirrels and birds for hours on end, freezing your butt off, waiting for Mr. Big to come strolling down the trail.
So Scheidt will get a RBI in his, along with his first college hit. So the freshman from Fortville, Indiana. Next way for Alex Yurt, sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky.
That's the guy we got to get going right here. I know he's been banged up, but Yurty was a huge piece for us last year. I know he's limited, not being able to play as much defense this year due to a couple injuries, but, man, he was a great piece offensively for us last year.
And, we've
Great
talked about it
team
a
guy,
couple
too.
times.
Gosh.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Just another one of just the incredible humans that the Grenadiers have. The 2-1 pitch. I'll be in there for a strike.
I wonder if this – I don't know. I wonder if everybody feels this way about their personnel. They're just incredible humans. They really are. It's not – people that know us know that we're straight shooters,
Yeah, good job by Keller to corral that one, to keep the runners at bay.
It's amazing how many left-handed hitters the Grenadiers have. There were streaks in my career where we had, the one year we had, Rich Rod switch. You had Rainey was a switch. You had Hector who was who hit left-handed. I really can't.
Julian Flannery, lefty.
Yeah. That was like a huge deal. But then there were years where we didn't really have anybody. This year they have like a plethora of left-handed bats.
And we'll see another one in the form of Trevor Goodwin.
Not a guy you want to face. I don't care what the score is with the bases juice, because if he clips one, it's going to be a science project.
Goody had a double in his first at-bat.
Good experience, though, for these left-handers. Not only, the young guys like Scheidt and some of the guys that have been put in the game, but just being in a situation where you have to face the left-handed pitcher as a left-handed hitter.
That one's going to be a cue shot into the 6-hole. The only opportunity is going to be over to first, but not in time. So good effort by the shortstop Keener, but that's going to be another run for IU Southeast as Goodwin legs that one out. It's going to be an infield hit. That was just about as good as a cue ball.
Did you see the G Unit sent me the Twitter highlight of the catcher for San Francisco, ball off the backstop, jump, throw to third base. Did you see that?
I did see that.
And you know what my response was? That has been practiced. That wasn't just a random, like, let's try this. It was like they do that either because pitchers are wild there or because the catchers just need that in their back pocket. But that was pretty cool.
Noah Song will
Everybody's
step
like,
in.
oh, my gosh. It's like that has been rehearsed a lot.
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter or X last night where it's like that guy definitely whispered Jeter as he threw that one from the backstop.
Yeah.
So Hassan will quickly be ahead 2-0. Yeah, there's been some crazy
Elon.
stuff.
Sorry, Elon, we called it Twitter. I mean, you definitely freed the bird. We liked X. I saw X is going with like almost like a Amazon style where you can shop on there, you can watch movies on there. I'm like, this is cool. I don't know. It's like
I'm still going to call it Twitter. I used it for too long.
now, I will say if you followed us, IUS Sports Talk, and just like we're active on Twitter. I really enjoy X and Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, that's my social media platform
Yeah.
that I use more than anything.
That's turned into my like search engine.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like,
I feel the same. 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be grounded softly to Keener at short. He'll flip over to Haynes at second. So that's going to do it for the Grenadiers in the bottom of the sixth. They're going to scratch across a couple. So they'll head to the top of the seventh now, 16-1. I have a pinch hitter for Ohio Christian in the top of the seventh, number 8, Jacob Workmeister, Lake Forest, California native. He'll come in to face the Seymour freshman, Aiden Darlich.
what, Seymour freshman is in like we want to see more freshmen, or
We've seen a lot of them as the first pitch is going to be hit out center, and there is Shepard coast under that one. So one pitch and one out for Darlich.
fun fact: Seymour High School head baseball coach, IUS baseball alumni, Jeremy Ritchie, one of the best. Yeah, I like Darlich. He's a good one.
Yeah, came in as I guess you'd call him a little bit of a two-way, looking to play first base, and he's just transitioned more in that pitcher-only role. And in his, transitioning to pitching primarily, I think he's done a good job. He's a little funky lefty, right? Got a little hitch in the giddy up, and I think it's kind of
competitive.
is competitive.
Got some conviction. He's very intentional. I don't know, there's something about him. Actually, one day at practice, I had swung by to see Brady Tedesco before he went to Mexico to play in the professional baseball league there. And I actually asked Darlidge, I said, so I'm curious, his first outing for the Grenadiers, be noted, it was a save, right?
It was.
Against
And a comeback win over Huntington University.
I asked him, I said, where do you get your competitiveness from? And he was like, I don't know. And I said, so what sports did you play growing up? And he mentioned that he was a high school wrestler. And I was like, aha, that's it. There's something about the guys that wear the trash bag, run in the pool room, spit in a cup to meet weight, to roll around.
A good breaking ball there. That's going to be fouled off
Yeah,
by another pinch hitter, Will Skipberg.
Shout out to all the wrestlers of the world. You have got to love that to do it. I don't know. I actually worked high school wrestling in high school, like a support staff role for some of the winter sports. Man, that's intense.
Yeah, wrestling was never my cards. I spent my winters bowling, actually. Kept the arm moving,
Yeah.
Anything outside of baseball that I played, football included, was solely just to either throw or use my right arm. And that's going to be a backwards K there for Darlidge, as that one kind of backed up on him. That's going to do the job.
The old Glennon Rush glove side. Yeah, fun fact, me and my son this weekend were kind of trying to find out something to watch that wasn't, Coco Melon or something that makes you want to question your sanity. But anyway, we came across Game 4 of the, I think 2000, what was the Subway Series? 2000.
2000.
Yeah. Mets, Yankees, and got to watch Glennon Rush pitch, and it was pretty awesome.
Wyatt Evans will pinch hit here for Ohio Christian as he swung and missed at his first pitch. So that one's going to catch a piece of the umpire. That doesn't feel too good. But Darlidge doing a good job attacking the zone early here, trying to put this one away.
I'm trying to get my little tweet to go viral, make being a multi-sport athlete great again. I would love to see, I told a couple of my alums that are coaching high school baseball this year to kind of go around and visit with the other sports in their high schools, and they were like, what do you mean? It's like, ask them if you could invite, kids that, weren't normally baseball players out.
1-2 pitch, cut on and miss. So 3 up, 3 down is going to do it as Darlidge comes in and slams the door, as the Grenadiers are going to take this one by a final score of 16-1.
See if the freshmen know how to line up.
It's going to take them a second. But a good job for the Grenadiers, as they're going to sweep this series, and they will move to, I believe, 11-11. They're now at 500 for the first time this year. 4-2 in conference play. Ohio Christian, they fall to 3-16 and 1-5 in the River States. That will be in a run ruled shortened game. I don't believe Yakovich is able to get the win, unfortunately. So give me just a second. I'll try to get you the final lines there. Ben, do you have anything to close?
No, I'm excited to see them kind of get to playing their best baseball, maybe ride this wave to the beach. This has been they've had a lot of up and downs with injuries and just, different storylines. Every team does, but just to see them kind of, like I told you earlier on my first, call, just seeing teams develop their own identity is something that, looking back on it now, maybe it's from being disconnected, and I don't know, just seeing the game from a different, literal point of view. I'm not in the dugout anymore. I'm from a different perspective, but just seeing each team kind of develop their own identity, I'm excited to see them, in their ascension this spring. 'Cause I think this group has the pieces that it takes to get to a regional, and once you get there, anything can happen, as we all know.
Yeah, and I was incorrect. So Yakovich works 4 innings, so he will pick up his second win on the year.
He looked good today. On long rest, it looked like a little zippy. I mean, it's clutch to have this, kind of I guess for everything to work out, I guess he got long rest, got a chance to kind of, I think, get some of his juice back because he's, Yak, Shafe, those guys are guys that make every start, which, can be, obviously, as can be grueling and taxing, but, getting a lot of support by the offense today, with the weather being in play this weekend, whether it is or not, it's early season college baseball. It will be in play. So, if the series is moved, he'll have a chance to bounce back and, be able to throw in the conference series this weekend.
Absolutely. So Grenadiers back in action at home on Wednesday. Game originally scheduled for today gets moved to Wednesday against Campbellsville. That'll be the third of, I think, 5 or 6 times we'll see Campbellsville this year.
Good chance to respond from the last, matchup. I think last matchup it was like one of those random days. It was like 70 degrees in February, and we played a night game here, and I showed up with Beckham, and it was nice trying to put rocks in his ears and his nose, and I'm kind of going through that phase. But anyway, the Grenadiers got kind of handled by the Tigers of Campbellsville.
They did, so a good opportunity to bounce back, like you said. So that's going to do things for us here in New Albany, as Grenadiers are going to sweep the conference weekend in a split weekend fashion, Thursday and Monday. They take Game 3 by a final score of 16-1. Tyler Yakovich, your winner, moves to 2-4. Will Bishop 0-2 on the year now. As that'll do us for here. I'm Kyle Hawkins. For Ben Real, we will see you next time.